Is that a Panzer 2? No, not a Panzer 2. Panther 2. Fucking Leopard. Leopard 2. There we go. Oh yeah, give him the fuck juice! I'm too drunk to fucking taste that chicken. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got a ton of y'all in here. Endworm, Captain Z, Luke Johnson, Grayson, Irish Lover, 7745, Alami Gaming, Michael Brexot, you're an alien, Mediwen. So one of the questions I was reading through chat while the intro was playing. One of the questions was a couple of Leopards and Bradleys were taken out today. From what I saw, yeah, absolutely true. So here's the thing, right? War equipment gets destroyed. By no means will I ever say any of it. Theirs is invincible, right? I will say that making a full-on open assault while in linear formation through a minefield during the daytime is probably one of the worst tactical decisions I've ever seen on either side. The Russians did the same thing in the beginning of 2022, and it yielded the exact same results for them. The reasons the Ukrainians are doing it now, I still don't fully understand, unless, of course, it was a distraction. So I have no idea. But it did appear that a couple of Leopards and Bradley's got taken out. Love crossing red lines, up from Texas. What's going on, guys? So what we do, every Friday I try and do it. I don't always have time to, because I got to do homework earlier in the week, but today I had a little bit of time, so I was able to do some homework. So what we do on Fridays normally is called the State of Gaming. I mean, it's Eastern Europe. What do you expect? Ground was taken, but my goodness, yeah. So the other areas they've been more successful in is Nox is aggressively licking his beans on the puppy cam. You done? No, don't come over here and lick me now. Don't do it. You're gross. You're gross. You're gross. Go. I'll pet you, but don't lick me. All right. Love you, bud. All right. Have I seen the COD drama? Oh, what drama is it this time? Honestly, I haven't seen anything about it. I don't play Call of Duty because Call of Duty just breeds everything that is wrong with people. Go lay down. It's no longer something I can casually pick up with my friends and enjoy. It's something you have to dedicate hours to, and I don't have time for that. The A135 system. I'm not familiar with the A135. Hope the Challenger is okay. I don't know. I didn't see any Abrams or Challengers, but I did see a Leopard that it didn't look destroyed. It looked like a mobility kill. Usually when you have a mobility kill and neither side is gaining any ground, it stays there and neither side benefits from it. So we'll see. COD is just sweats now. Absolutely, that's why I don't play it. So let's go ahead and get into it. I got a couple of games to showcase today. So first off, in gaming news, there was a game that I was really looking forward to. I was super excited about it. Everything about it looked good. It looked fun to play. And then they went and fucking screwed the pooch. This is the same thing we saw with Dead Island 2. Okay, so it was called Arc Raiders. If you've been on my channel before, you've probably seen the trailer for Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is a free-to-play, open world, and it was supposed to be PvE, like co-op shooter. And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds phenomenal. Turns out now it's PvEVP. So it is another survival Tarkov-style shooter that you go in as a team, you exfil as a team, and you only get to keep... I'm already tired of that genre. I knew fucking Call of Duty was going to jump on it when Tarkov started taking off. I knew that, and now it's everybody follows suit. So I was really looking forward to a new open world looter shooter PvE. Was really looking forward to it, and then they had to go PvEVP. So... it is what it is. I am only like, what? Oh man, that game. I've been playing Ace Combat 7. Sorry, I'm trying to read through, you guys. It ain't like Tarkov. Tarkov, so the idea is the same. You infill, you get what you need, try and complete missions, you exfil. That's it. It's a survival shooter. There's many different variants. You got Marauders, Tarkov, DMZ, frickin', and now that's going to be one of the new ones. And I was really looking forward to it. I was really, really looking forward to it. But, so that one was a big letdown. This one has now come up on my radar. And this is the thing. I've always been intrigued. You guys can probably see the name. No, you can't see the name because my camera's blocking at the top. I've always been intrigued by this storyline, this universe, but I didn't know where to start. Right? Because it's so ingrained and so huge. It's like trying to get into Halo or trying to get into Star Trek or trying to get into Star Wars. There's so much lore to learn. I didn't know where to start. So I've been looking at gameplay, and for me, this is a victory. It's a 3-player co-op shooter, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I didn't play Space Marine 1. Didn't play it. We gonna do a rush stream? Hell no. That is too sweaty for me. What are my thoughts on COD Ghosts? I don't think I ever played Ghosts. The demo has a lot of going for it. OG Fear. DCS. Maybe. I keep on... my buddy Rotten Reaper is trying to get me into DCS. So. 6 Days in Fallujah is cool since the real-time adaptive combatants, but the reality of the situation, the lives lost there during Siege... rough to swallow. Yeah, there was a Medal of Honor game that was made about Afghanistan, and it was a great game. Really fun game to play. Good story, but it fucked me up when I was running through villages and I could understand what people were saying. Like, that fucked me up a little bit. So, without further ado, this is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. It is going to be a 3-player co-op shooter. So,
we're facing a Tyranid splinter fleet. They engaged us on 2 planets. Avarax and Kadaku. I'll be straight with you, Titus. I have my reservations about your reinstatement. There could be questions. Will that be a problem? No, Captain. Tyranids! My pledge is eternal service. Xenos inbound! Eviscerate this abomination! Come forth and be slaughtered! Open the gates. Care to see who can slay more Xenos for the Chiron? I thought a beast of that statue would offer more sport.
Teal, this is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. So what are our thoughts? Honestly, I love a good co-op shooter. I love, and for me, that's everything that this is. Like, I was so let down. I want you to know, I hope Starfield fucking fails. I hope it fails, because you had something beautiful. The game looks beautiful. The gameplay looks beautiful. Everything about it looks fucking beautiful. The fact that I cannot play with my friends It's going to do the same thing Elden Ring did. If you look at how Elden Ring did, Elden Ring, phenomenal fucking game, but people get tired of it because they want to play with their friends. Elden Ring had a 50% drop in the player base in the first 90 days. You're going to see the exact same thing with Starfield. No matter how much content you put in there, people are eventually going to go, well, I mean, this is fun, but I want to go play with the boys, right? If you had put that in there, Starfield would have crushed it. Would have absolutely fucking crushed it. But Starfield, I'm telling you, within 90 days is going to lose 50% of its player base. People want to play with their friends, man. Like, at least make it an option. I'm not saying PvP. I'm saying, like, PvE, maybe co-op aspects of it. I don't know. Like, throw something in that we want, right? So, hold on. Duncan Montz said, Battlefront and Battlefield let us down. There is in the works, and I've reported on it previously, Battlefront 3 is coming out. Now, keep in mind, Battlefront 3 is supposed to span the entirety of all of Star Wars. You're supposed to be able to fight anything from droids to the First Order. Literally everything in there is supposed to be what Battlefront 3 is supposed to encompass. So we'll see. If I remember right, everything in Warhammer's canon. I have no idea. I have no clue. PlayStation players used to... You know, Nemo, you're not wrong. Every PlayStation exclusive is single player. Like, the biggest flex of Sony is just, if you use our console, you don't have friends. You don't get to have friends. Like, I don't get that. Like, don't get me wrong. They make some really cool first-player games, or one-player games. But what happens is, in 90 days, you see a drop in player base. Because people want to play with their friends. But, I mean, they don't care because they get you to buy it anyways. That's all they want, right? Which, by the way, BioWare, if you're watching this, I just recently looked it up. $420 million is what Star Citizen has earned from crowdsourcing. So if you're wondering how you can afford to create Anthem 2.0, crowdsourcing is a phenomenal tool, which will probably pay for your entire game. Just thought I'd throw that out there. You don't got to rely on EA to continue to fuck things up for you. So, still play Horizon Forbidden West and Spider-Man. They're great games. It's just, I put them down because, like, I want to go play with my friends. And I'm not everybody. Some people don't like doing that, but, like, the majority of gamers, gaming is a social thing. My screen is blurry? Shouldn't be. Looks fine on my end. I got no drop frames. I'm running... Oh, up your res. Was the Dog's Dangles the first Space Marine? I never played the first one. I will tell you this. I played Death Stranding today. I downloaded it. I got it on Epic Game Store for free. And I was like, let's see what this Death Stranding is about. It is a great movie. I played it for an hour. I had 5 minutes of gameplay. It's a great movie. It's a shit game. Well, you got to build the story and this. It's unskippable cutscenes for 50 minutes out of the first hour I played it. Great. I mean, the story's great. There's like cool like aspects of it. I got a lot of questions. Whoever made it was trying to make a movie that you could play parts of. They weren't trying to make a game. Great movie. Shit game. Sorry. If you like Death Stranding, there's a second one coming out too. I'm sorry. It's just great movie. Shit game. Kojima at his finest. Yep. Atomic Heart is a great game. I've heard good things about Atomic Heart. Oh, Nox had a big stretch. Rain had a big stretch. Do I have favorite war game campaign? I'd probably say my favorite campaign of any campaign that's ever been played is Borderlands 2. And this is not a war game, I know that. Borderlands 2 and Titanfall 2. Those are probably two of my favorite games. My right leg has Borderlands tattoos. My left one is going to be Titanfall tattoos. So... Has the Abrams got to Ukraine yet? Bro, I didn't even know when I was getting off of work today. I have no idea. What do I think about Enlisted? I haven't played Enlisted yet. I'm considering getting it. I don't even know if it's... Star Citizen is badass. Star Citizen is so aesthetically pleasing. It's a beautiful fucking game. Everything's glitched. And I don't want to spend $200 on the ship I want because every time I grind for that ship and then they're just like, oh, by the way, we're wiping again. I get so tired of that. So for me, like, I pick it up every once in a while. Like, I'm going to go do some deliveries with just the base model ship, the little fucking Pisces. Yeah. Because I don't feel like spending a whole shit ton of money on it. Have I tried playing Squad? No, I've not. Get Starfield when it comes out? I would love to. I would love to get Starfield. If I didn't want Starfield to fail. Because they need to learn their fucking lesson. I wish Starfield just had a multiplayer option. Even if they couldn't fly their own ships, even if they couldn't do anything, I just wish like I could have one person along with me. The game looks beautiful. The gameplay looks gorgeous. Everything about it looks phenomenal. I just wish they had a co-op option. That's why it killed it for me. I mean, you're pretty much... What they're creating is a significantly more polished version of No Man's Sky that is single player only. That's all they're doing. That's all they've done. Sorry. Have I checked out Blight Survival? I thought I did look that one up. Star Citizen will be good in 2030. Maybe. All right, so the next one we're going to look at is actually a DLC, but it's kind of its own entire game. So there was a lot of problems with Cyberpunk 2077 came out, but CD Projekt Red was like, we're not going to give up on this project. In the same way DICE didn't give up on Battlefield 2042. There's been a lot of updates in 2042. Apparently it plays a lot better. Everything about it is just better. The player base has been growing exponentially. People are really enjoying Battlefield 2042. So CD Projekt Red was doing the same thing with Cyberpunk. Is they realized they had a bad launch, they realized they had issues, but they're like, we are bound and determined to fix this. So they probably didn't have EA as a publisher. All these companies that do this and they fix their games and their games become phenomenal, the trick is they don't work with EA, because EA wants just fast money, move on, fast money, move on, fast money, move on. And that's why we as gamers should make sure we never buy EA products ever again. Unless they make a Titanfall 3. Then I'm sorry, you're getting my money. Should you download it again? I don't know. It plays a lot better. Got my money's worth out of Cyberpunk. Me too. I got it on my Xbox, and I every once in a while I'll pick it up, I'll play a little bit, and then I'll just put it down. It's just because there's nothing really new. But this is Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which is a DLC. It's a paid-for DLC. It's the only DLC they have planned in the entire Cyberpunk 2077 section, like game, right? And then they're moving on to a brand new Cyberpunk game. So they're not giving up on this. But this is Phantom Liberty, and apparently is a huge DLC. Like, completely new map. Everything's completely new, and we'll see. I probably won't pre-order it because I'm not ready to get hurt again.
How many times you willing to get burned before you stop trusting someone? How many times you gotta take a bullet for these motherfuckers in the name of empty promises? Politicians, military runners, intelligence operatives, all the rotten fish in one fucking barrel, this dog town. Tell me you've got a plan.
Not a plan. A man. If there's anyone we can trust now, it's him.
Solomon Reed, FIA.
So, what do we do now?
Dogtown. Burn it to the ground's what we'll do. It's a simple choice. Them or us. Peace comes at a price. Someone's always got to pay.
All right, so what are we feeling about that one? I feel like Cyberpunk really could have something, right? Could have something. But where's Cyberpunk 2077 that was promised? Exactly, man. I wish, like, Cyberpunk had so much more. Like, the brain dances were supposed to work in Cyberpunk. They didn't. They still don't work to this day. The vehicles, they were so restricted back then. Like, you would be driving along and all of a sudden your vehicle just fall through the fucking map because you were going so fast that it couldn't load to keep up with it. Now, this was also hardware limitations back in the day. Certain people were playing, like, here's the thing, man. You guys got to understand, when video game companies are benchmarking and testing these games, they are testing them in a vacuum, right? So they have a computer that they build specifically to test this game's minimum, maximum requirements and everything like that, right? So they have a series of computers that they benchmark these things. These computers are properly aerated, or not aerated, they're properly fucking ventilated, they're properly cooled, they have new systems on board, right? So they're not your fucking 2007 Xbox One that you got Christmas fucking morning that has a wax candle half melted on top of it, right? So that's one thing you have to understand when companies benchmark video games, right? Is they're doing so in a vacuum, and your system could have some serious degradation in it compared to what they're testing it on, right? So that's where a lot of these after game patches come from, and people are like, well, it crashed my system, it did this, it did that, right? So as games get more complex, you're going to have more and more of these problems because the consoles have to get more complex. The computers have to get more complex. So I do feel that in the video game community, but right now video gaming is so just rushed. Everything is so fucking rushed. If you have issues, then why don't you ask the children of Nemo? Final Fantasy VII could barely run on the PS1. Yeah. I'm how do I word this? Final Fantasy games look really cool. But we're on like 17 now, and I am so fucking lost I wouldn't even know where to begin. Do I play horror games on here? No, I have fucking Phasmophobia, but I don't ever play it. I played it like once. Melted wax candle. I'm just saying, man. Why test game on hardware people have when we can make more money instead? You know, that's fair. It's they do have like, well, that's part of beta testing, right? So like alpha testing and pre-alpha is like on their own systems or maybe certain individuals who meet certain criteria. Beta is supposed to be for everybody else. You're actually the funnest green screen YouTuber. Well, thank you so much, Car Edits. I really appreciate it, man. Best game I've ever played? Ooh, Borderlands 2. With a slight lead on Titanfall 2. The only reason Borderlands 2 gets a lead is because Titanfall 2 didn't have, like the campaign was very small. It was really short. Do I play it steals it with great gun scary game? I've never heard of that. Strategy games would make... There is some strategy games, like real-time strategy. Yeah, Company of Heroes 3 just came out. There's Age of Empires 4, I think, now. So, anyways, but that was Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Now, this next one I haven't even heard of, and So do you ever see a video game and you're like, that looks aesthetically pleasing? Like, you see the gameplay and you're like, I like the way they did with the colors. I like how the animation works. I like all of that. Like, it just looks good. This game I didn't even know existed until today. And it's coming out, I think, later on this year. It's a single-player game from what I understand. It's not co-op, so that's kind of a, for me, anyways. A lot of people enjoy that kind of genre. Borderlands 2 is base. Titanfall was great. It makes me sad. Yeah, I agree. They'll release Titanfall 3 when Apex stops making so much money for them. I should play COD? Nope, not anymore. Ark? Ooh, I was waiting for Ark too. So... This next one, again, I hadn't even heard of it until literally today, and the more I watch of it, the more it looks cool. It's a cool concept. I will always applaud video game companies that push the envelope and try something new. I want people to try something new. Breath of the Wild was a huge step for well, I mean, honestly, every single fucking Zelda game that has ever been made is a step in the right direction. Like, if every other company out there said, like, what do we do? And just look at the newest Zelda game, you're going to be covered, man. Like, Ocarina of Time pushed the fucking envelope. Majora's Mask pushed the envelope. What is it? The Wind Waker pushed the envelope. Breath of the Wild pushed the envelope. And now Tears of the Kingdom, which I haven't played, but I've heard wonderful things about, have all pushed the envelope with everything that they do. Don't tell me we're looking at what I think it is. Which one? We are going to be looking at Immortals of Aveum. Again, I hadn't heard anything about this game, but it looks cool. Again, I'm not a single-player video game guy, but it's just an interesting concept. You're a battle mage, which is normally like anytime you have a mage of any kind, it's like it's a third person or it's a top-down, right? This is the first time I've ever seen a mage in first person, with the exception of like Elder Scrolls, which you're not slinging as much spells and hamana as this guy's doing, so it looks kind of cool. Link to the Past, you're right, Nemo.
Literally pushed us to the edge.
So this is Immortals of Aveum.
Already is. And we're still losing.
That was like nice stuff.
Welcome aboard, Immortal. What's our bearing, sir?
North by northeast, 5 knots.
We'll catch him, sir. Prepare to repel boarders! Airship's got a cockpit! Action station! Action station!
You got like his fucking light whip too?
Got it. Gotta get to the control room.
Well, I will say this. A click in the head, you kind of have to go a little bit slower when it comes to first person, and I'm not a big button mashing fan. Like Konami games, where it's just, I'm not a fan of that. I like seeing my movements have things that happen.
I want to be an immortal. I want to fight this war as one of you.
You're what's called a triarch. The Pentasod has gifted you with the ability to manifest all 3 colors of magic.
We're only going to win this one together. Sigil up.
I don't know. It's an interesting. It's a different style than I've seen. Also, a shooter that can be on console be slower. They have to, yeah. It's an interesting. Yeah, some people don't like the genre. I get it. Like I was looking, for example, like Mortal Kombat 1 is coming out, and while it looks really cool, I have never been a huge fan of fighting games. Just never have. I mean, it looks cool, but I always get my ass kicked. I'm terrible at them. And I've always been terrible at them, right? So like Mortal Kombat 1 is Mortal Kombat 1v1v, bro. Interesting concept. Yeah, again, we'll have to see how it works, man. Do you Naruto run in that game? I have no idea. Probably. But there's a lot of cool video games coming out. I mean, we've talked about, let me go down. I have my list. Where's my list? Nope, that's Reddit. So we looked at. Whoa! Just seems like Call of Duty, but with magic. Thank you, Mickey Mouse, for the 10 minis.
Mickey Mouse super chatted $10. Just seems like Call of Duty, but with magic.
Jaws rules. Yes, I've played the Just Cause series. I've beaten 3 and 4. I have 4. I play 3 and 4 every once in a while. We Redfall, which God, that game needs so much more. I was so like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's an interesting concept. They just need to add more to it. It's pretty broken still. Arc Raiders died for me. Rooted, Nightingale. We went over that one. Hellsinger, which is the whole thing. Metal Hellsinger is the whole concept of it is it's a metal soundtrack. It's a metal band that wanted to make a video game. And that's how that came to be, which is kind of cool, right? Have I played any Fallout? I've played 3. Didn't play 76, didn't play 4, didn't play New Vegas. I played 3. Flag taken, flag drop. Have I ever played Battlefield? Yes, I played Battlefield. Teal, why are you giving me $10, man? I mean, this is the thing. Again, guys, I will say this 100 times. I don't ever require a dime. My content will always be free. That's just the way I am, right? You want to hear it? Okay, let's hear it.
Tiger Teal super chatted $10. HLC farts and Russians cry.
Luke Johnson, why do you keep writing Owen, man? Kozak needs those feet pics. Yeah, there's nothing right now I'm interested in pre-ordering. Again, that Space Marine 2 looks cool, but I won't pre-order it. Thanks, Mickey Mouse. I appreciate it, man. Have I tried Terraria?
Mickey Mouse super chatted $20. Too bad, take my money.
Skull, thank you as well. Oh, I gotta shut up, sorry.
Skull super chatted $10. Shut up and take my money.
No, JD, I've never played a Warhammer game, but Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. We just watched the trailer for it. It looks really good. Everyone's breaking the bank's money. All right, let's go into Hater Patrol. This is what we do. I just grab some of my random videos and we go through and we see what people say. Mandatory Fun Day. He's an awesome dude. Terrence Cross. I don't know who this guy is, but he's freaking. Don't give me. Thank you, Thwack19. I have to scroll down a little ways.
Thwack19 super chatted $10. Don't count me left out of this give fest.
Hussein, do I play Red Dead Redemption 2? I don't. I by the time I got around to let me check this out, it was already too far gone. The next one I'm interested in getting though. Let's see. Let's go through inbox, comments. We're going to scroll through the comments together, folks, and we're going to see if we can find radar warning receiver. That's, I don't mind taking corrections. I love that a lot of y'all get your news from the shit that I say. I can't cover everything, but I try and make jokes about some of the big stuff. I was very torn. I wanted to make a joke about that dam that the Russians obviously destroyed, but every joke I had just came out wrong, and it didn't work. What am I going to buy with the 60 monies I got? Knox is going to charm school. Oh, you're just donating for dog treats? I guess they could get some dog treats. Come on, Buffalo.
MH super chatted $9.99. I'm just donating for dog treats.
He knows he's not supposed to eat out of the bowl, so he's just like, I wasn't ready. And then Rain, she never jumps up. Here, Knox. Rain, let's see if we can get you in front of the camera. There we go. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dan. Really couldn't make... I really wanted to. It came out really fucked up. Off topic. Do I think channel be the star? I'll let it read it out loud.
Big Mike Gaming. Super chatted $10. Off topic. Do you think China will be the starter of World War III? I just doubt North Korea or Russia will be the ones to start it. But just curious on your take.
I don't know who's going to be dumb enough to try and start it. I have no idea, man. I think China knows where they stand.
Mickey Mouse super chatted $2.01, making that bench even.
Well, thank you so much, Mickey Mouse. Let me see. I would say I don't know who it is. I really haven't the slightest... Oh, God. Oh, here we go. I see it. I'm waiting for it.
Thwack19 super chatted $10. This second super chat may have been alcohol fueled. Just wanted to hear it spoken. LMAO.
Jesus, sorry, I'm trying to handle something real quick. Thank you so much, Jaws Rules, man. I really appreciate it. Like, all the support you guys give, I really, like, don't get me wrong, this is going to come off a little narcissistic. I do love making this content. I love finding out that I've made so many of you happy. Like, don't get me wrong, everyone loves hearing, like, praise, especially when it's behind their back, right? Like, earlier this week, I was working with another instructor, and he asked another instructor who was one of my students previously. And he's like, what do you think of Sarah Long? And he's like, that man is, this his words, he's like, that man's really smart, but really humble. Which made me realize that he probably wasn't a very good student. Anyways, and then the instructor that I was talking to, he was like, no, it's fucking uncalled for how much that man knows. And I was like, oh, it makes me feel good. So Anyways, yeah. Oh, let me see here real quick. I gotta let me take care of something. And boom. You guys can hear me there for a second. Hold on. All right, Luke Johnson, you're in timeout for a little bit, homie. All right. Didn't I break some air defense records? Yes, I broke the 30-second double AMDC record for the fastest +4 time. Did I cheat to make that happen? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I still made it happen. 14 minutes and a +4. That's for the mast of the AMG. The antenna mast group has 2 antenna masts that cross cannon like this. Then you kind of fold out antenna this way, fold out antenna that way. And then you lift one up, and then you raise it up to base +1, because this is base +1. And then you lift this one up, and then you can put them back down at base. And I had to get one of them to base +4, which is 110 feet in the air. And so they're hydraulically... You're going to get me to say this on stream. Marines, artillerymen, and infantrymen, y'all better not laugh, okay? So it's erected by hydraulics, and then it is extended by pneumatics. You sons of bitches. Bad box for his crimes. I mean, this is the thing. You can say whatever you want to in chat, but don't say the same thing 1,000 times over. I asked Owen, hey, why are you saying, Owen, my name is Owen, my name is Owen, my name is Owen. You're going to chime out, homie.
Mickey Mouse super chatted $5. Bad box for his crimes.
What do I think of air defense? Ahead. Wait. I think it's really great. I think it's really great that I've been saying it for years that the next major conflict, you're going to see the rise of 2 things. You're going to see air defense artillery really come to the forefront of everyone's. Because right now, like previously, air defense artillery, we were just written on a draw. On a was it deliberate risk assessment worksheet? Right, we were just written on a draw. It's, hey, the enemy has missiles, so some commanding general goes, let's put Patriot there, and he just writes it on his draw and says, hey, look, we're protected from missiles. We were just a piece of paper. We were a strategic asset that he could just brief the vice chiefs of staff that his asset was protected because air defense was there, because no one ever fucking tested us. And now the world is seeing what American air defense did. They're finally seeing what we have trained for long, long periods of time, and people are all of a sudden like, they can't believe it. That's where these Russian fanboys get their understanding of is, well, that's impossible. No one can do that. Motherfucker, I've been doing this for 10 years. Doing that for 10 years. I've been doing air defense shit for like 12 years. Bro became a piece of paper. Who, me? What? Oh, Skull, I am okay with roast, man. I am totally fine with it. Speaking of Russian fanboys, what's the hardest cope I've seen? Oh, man. Oh, I had a good one. Shit. Oh, what did he say? Fuck. Bro, I gotta think of it now. It's gonna drive me fucking nuts, man. There was a really good... It just didn't make any sense. It was the dumbest shit, man. Moderteni jurisdiction? What? What is going on? AI take over R. AI continues to evolve. So, okay, here's the thing. When it comes to AI, all AI and robots have to follow the laws of robotics. What are the laws of robotics? So let's fucking bring up Google real quick. Maybe another bot might be. So we're gonna just where's he at? We're gonna handle. I gotta get some mods in here. Actually, yeah, where's fucking Teal? Where's... Teal, you're a mod now. Off topic, do I support U.S. intervention to save Taiwan in case of Chinese invasion? You know what? I would refer to General Patton in that situation. I am a soldier. I fight where I'm told, and I win where I fight. It's not my position to choose where we go and what we do. It does what it's told, right? I hope that the American people can put the right people in power to make solid decisions about where me and my friends could potentially lose our lives and make sure the fight is worth it. That's what I ask. I think it's the easiest and classiest way to do it. Oh, Kozak, I didn't even know you were in here, man. Hold on, dude. I got you. Kozak is an old homie. There we go. There you go, Kozak. Just remember to make the other guy a hero. Well, if he's in a plane, yeah, I can do that. If he's on the ground, it might be a little bit harder. So let's take a look at some of these comments here while we're going through. Them platoon stripes, yeah? Yeah! Homies first, HLC elect the other. You know, I'm sorry, Kozak. Laws or loose recommendations of robotics. They're actual laws. There's 4 laws of robotics, and one of them is like, you can't harm a human. You can't modify your code so that it would be okay to harm a human. Like, they got to follow those things. It is the thing. There will always be operator oversight because you can never, to this day, you cannot program any AI to make moral decisions. Everything they do is logical. Everything they do is logical. And you don't realize how many moral decisions you make throughout the day until someone is making strictly logical decisions, right? Like, if I program into a system that these assets are ranked this level of priority, the moral decision is I want to protect all of these, but I know which ones are need to be protected the most. The logical is it's okay if all of these except for number 1 get killed. That's the logical standpoint, right? So trying to put logic or trying to put morality into logic is really difficult. So yeah, I've experimented. I personally had the privilege of getting my hands on some AI technology. Now there are certain AI things that we should utilize, especially when it comes to radars. Like counter jamming, and AI will be able to counteract that far better than I ever could. They'll be able to get to a new center frequency or a new frequency band far faster than I would be able to. Like, that makes sense. If you detect jamming, repeater, fucking squitter, what is it? Oh shit, repeater, continuous, non-continuous, or quiet. It'll be able to react to it faster than I can. Like, that makes sense. That's a logical standpoint. But deciding what to shoot and how it should shoot, that's never going to be. Air Force only branch with morale. That's fact. If then else. Yep. Do not harm or allow any human to be harmed. Obey any human order that does not contradicts 1 and 3. Preserve yourself unless that contradicts 1 or 2. Yep. The laws of robotics. The needy Nightbox back. Well, this is the thing, guys. I'm not so used to it. Hussein, I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot the word, man. Shit. I already forgot the word. So context, non-military bullshit. What? Okay, you hugged a girl? All right. What is up, Weeb and Gaming Incorporated? Are those not just the laws from iRobot? I think they existed long before the movie iRobot came out. Sorry, guys. We're supposed to be doing Hater Patrol, man. Y'all keep asking me too much. Yep, I have a brother and a sister in the Navy Skull. I tell everybody, my parents have 2 daughters in the Navy and a son in the Army. So, the second it turned to June, I texted my brother and sister and said, Happy Pride Month. Go Navy. And they, naturally they fired right back, but, you know, it is what it is. Honestly, I haven't had a whole lot of haters lately. I do like that. The fuckaboots find out. I like that. What is my favorite gun? I would really, in my life, I will purchase one. It's a pointless gun. I know it's a pointless gun. You don't have to tell me it's a pointless gun. It is dumb to own one. The ammunition is expensive. It almost dislocates your shoulder every time you fire it. I am fully aware. But I want a 4570 Henry repeater for no apparent reason at all whatsoever. I just think it's a cool gun. I think it's an awesome looking gun. I like it. I know it's inaccurate past like 100 yards. I'm fully aware, man. I really want one. What's it like to have siblings? I'm an only child. Oh, so F14, if you're an only child and you want to know what it's like to have siblings, what you're going to do is wait till you're nice and calm sitting on the couch and then you're going to throw yourself on the floor and then get kicked. And you're just going to be tormented every day for the rest of your life. That's what it's like to having siblings. I love my siblings, but I torment them almost as much as they torment me. Didn't you say something along the Happy Pride Month, both sisters? Yeah, no, I did. Because my brother and my sister, yeah, they're both Navy. Best self-defense gun. The one you can reach when you need it. I did not know that about the iRobot thing. Let me see. Trident missile can go 5 miles per second. Yeah, Mach 24. The American Trident is capable of Mach 24. Unclassified. I don't know what the classified is. Honestly, I've never been told. An 1800s flintlock. 8,000 for an integral lease? That's a hard word. Gun's expensive, it's stupid, and brings no value to the table, but it looks good, so go get it. Right? Senpai, I agree. Glock 17. So, I'm going to get on a Glock tangent. I'm going to get on a Glock tangent, man.
Irukan Senpai super
I'm
chatted
gonna let this play.
$5.36. The gun is expensive, it's stupid, and brings no value to the table. But it looks good, so go get it. Thumbs up.
Craig Duncan, type !Discord and it'll pop up in chat. Alright, so Glock. Let me first preface this. Glocks are incredibly easy to build. They are easy to use. They are simple to fire. They are easy to find parts for. They are easy to disassemble. They are very efficient. They are very accurate. Everything about them is a good pistol. They are ugly as fuck. I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Like, Glocks are super, it's like an AK, right? It's a really efficient weapon system that is easy to find parts for. It's like, fucking Barbie's dream house. You can get those things anywhere. I guarantee every sportsman store that you walk into has a magazine that fits a Glock 17 or Glock 19. Guaranteed. I think they're ugly. I just think they're ugly. They're not as ugly as a High Point, but they're fucking ugly. Uggos need love too. Car edits, man. Glocks. I got no hate on Glocks, right? I won't hate an efficient weapon other than just how it looks. Like, and people, no, I don't think anyone, even Glock fanboys, would not disagree with my assessment there. They're like, nah, these things are fucking ugly, man. But you're right. Like, they're very boring. They're a box. They're just a box. There's nothing that pulls me in. There's nothing that just, that's a cool looking gun. There's nothing. Honda Civic of Firearms. Yeah. I guess I never looked at it that way. The tabs are so recessed. Yeah, there's no kind of wow factor to it, right? Like, you look at a certain gun, like when I look at a 45 repeater or 4570 repeater from like a Henry, like that just, it's an old Western. That's what my brain gets, right? When you look at like a 1911, like, oh man, that's a piece of World War II history. When you look at like a Chris Vector, it like almost looks like it's from the fucking future. When you see like an MP5, you automatically think like SWAT team. When I see a Glock, nothing. Maybe hood rats, like that's maybe, but like other than that, nothing. I got nothing going on up here for Glocks. What happened to XM5 and XM7? I do not know. Going outside for grit. Thanks for answer. Hey, no problem, JD. Thank you for being here, man. Show Glock to your enemies and Kimber to your friends. That's fair. And that's, I mean, to each their own, Craig. To each their own, man. M4? What about the M4? I think the M4 is, I mean, if I'm going to get me an AR, it's going to be an AR-10. Sorry, I inhaled some water. Water's supposed to go down the throat tube, not the air tube.
Ultrasalviver super chatted $4.99. What do you think about the P90?
I think it's an interesting design. I think it's a cool looking gun. It looks futuristic. To me, every time I see a P90, I think of 007. That's the one that has the side stack magazine on top, right? If I'm thinking of the right gun. But the downside of that thing is it lacks efficiency because each of those rounds, as they go forward in the magazine, they're facing sideways. They have to turn and go into the chamber and then get fired. Has a really high fire rate because of that, but at the same time, it's really inefficient. And it's very prone to jamming. So I'm not a gun guy. Slam missile is a ramjet. Didn't know that. I mean, it's a gun. Just get the 5.7 P90 upper for the AR. I do. So the only reason I like the AR-10 is because when I went to Afghanistan, I carried a Leopold Mark IV scope. I was a squad designate Leopold Mark IV scope. Oh my God, M14 EBR with a Leopold Mark IV scope. Fuck. Which was chambered in 7.62x51 NATO or 308. So I'm comfortable with that round. So an AR platform, an AR-10, I'm comfortable with that round. I'm comfortable with the ballistics of it. I know how it drops. I know how it falls. I know how wind affects it. I'm very comfortable with it, and it's an easy round to find. Secret Service carried P90. Is that the pistol? Am I way off? I don't know. Again, I'm not a gun guy. Glitter Glocks. They have a bass boat. Ugh. A10 versus AH-64. Really depends on what it's used for, man. Hello from the land down under. It's good. It's about 7:30 at night here.
Beskar, speechless face, 66 super chatted $3.31. Hello from the land of down under death. How's your day and all night going?
Put another shrimp on the Barbie. Oh, I can't. We don't fucking say that. I think that was probably my best Australian when I did that in that video. Oh, I can't, like, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I had like 5 different drafts of that because I felt like the C word came out too strong, and I was like, they're gonna know I'm American, and they're gonna know because y'all don't emphasize the T, you emphasize the C, and Americans emphasize the T. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Lauren Harding. I appreciate it. Again, you guys don't have to donate anything. This will always be free.
Just wanted to say thanks for the country vids, especially Canada. Make more, please.
Of course. I will absolutely continue to make those for you guys. No, I'm Central. Can I do a French accent? I've been trying, but every time I do a French accent, like I do like a frown, like oh oui oui, like it's fucking weird. And I sound like Jacques from fucking what is it? Finding Nemo. There you go. I couldn't think of it. And then like I started trying to practice like weird parts of French and trying to say other words in it, and just all I kept thinking of, like I bounce it back and forth between Jacques from there and that part of the mask where he's like "Je t'adore, je the window, I don't care," like that. But that also came out like more Hispanic. I don't know. I've been working on it, but it's not great. It'll be free to. Google charges an $8 membership. Like, I'm going to keep YouTube, everything up as free as I possibly can. French Air Defense got a Ratatouille under the helmet. Can I explain my beef with Canada? So I don't have a beef with Canada. I don't. But I used to make videos about Canada being like meek and mild, and people like, you really got to look into Canada's history. And I did. And Canadians have done some very bad things. The cool dude, thank you so much for the super chat, man. And Beskar, why did cool dude come through first?
To _cool_ dude super chatted $3.31. We say it like cun and a tiny bit of tea.
Hold on. I gotta scroll up. Beskar.
Beskar, speechless face, 66. Super chatted $3.31. That was the video I subbed to you on. I showed it to all my guys at work and we laughed our ass off so much we go no work done for half an hour.
That's awesome, Beskar. Bro, that's great. Oh shit, there's another one? Marcus! Holy shit, you guys, again, I'm trying to read everything. P90
Marcus
is a...
Bradley super chatted $2. P90 is a submachine gun from GoldenEye.
Yes, yeah. So I did have the right one. Supernova's asked about the 1911. Okay, I'm going to hurt some feelings here. The 1911, when it came out, and when it was designed for, and when it was used in 1911, when it came out, till about 1960-something, great period weapon. Phenomenal pistol. You could put an 8-round high-cap magazine in it. It had 45 fucking ACP in it. I mean, it could deliver those quickly. It was a good pistol for the time. Now, you can have a pistol that weighs less, that is more accurate, and throws more lead. For example, I have a Springfield XD45. I carry 13 rounds of 45 in there, and it is lighter than a 1911. Great when it came out. I will never discount how great of a weapon the 1911 was. It was a great pistol when it came out. Phenomenal pistol. But compared to what we have nowadays, just like everything changes, it just can't compete. Just can't. I know that's going to hurt a lot of 1911 guys. I know that's going to hurt their feelings. I'm sorry. We got real maple syrup, good stuff. No wonder the joke goes on. All right, back to task. Still 1911. You can beat someone with... You know, that's fair. That's fair. Thoughts on smoked brisket? God's gift to fucking meat. What are we talking about? I learned a lot about World War II. I don't know very much about smoking meat. I think I went the wrong way with my knowledge. Okay, here we go. Our first hater. I don't know if you guys remember this one. Oh man, I gotta find him. That's bullshit. Why shouldn't it be at the top? Oh man, that pisses me off. I should just go back to... Frog Leap Stupid Studios. Can I search for him? Always question those looking for clout. He's been running his mouth. So running away and leaving equipment people behind is considered a win. No. Equipment and people. We got all the Americans out. And that's a fact. Actually, matter of fact, we moved 127,000 people in 2 weeks out of Afghanistan. Name another country in this world that can do that. Bet you can't. Name another country that moved 127,000 people 3,000 miles. Dunkirk was a great evacuation. The United Kingdom did phenomenal. It was like fucking 300,000 troops. But they moved them 60 miles across the English Channel. They did not move them 3,000 miles across the planet. That's American logistics. Let me see. This is it's probably just some fucking loser who thinks that I'm on the internet looking for clout. But can I go to his profile? Let's see. Yep. It's always these ones. They never do anything. Exactly. The equipment can be replaced. There's some shit going on right now with some woman who said that we left working dogs back there. I don't know of a single person who said that their dog was left behind. Their military working dog was left behind. I've not heard that from any actual military member who served there and said my dog was left behind. I have not. Now, this may exist. I just have not heard this. I've heard people saying we had pet dogs that we left behind. I get that, right? The world's a shit place, but I've not heard. Yes. Seriously, you want a sidearm? Go to the dang range and try at least 20 guns before you pick it. Fit matters. No, you're not wrong. So what we're going to do is this guy's obviously here to just start some shit. So we're going to go like this. How do we do this? Block. Don't care. Because here's the thing, guys. When I block somebody like that, it's not me I win, you're blocked. No. It's because I know nothing that I say will change that person's opinion, and they're just going to be an insufferable bitch the rest of their entire life. So here's the thing. So when they're in their darkest moment, when they're at the bottom of their rope and they're on their ass, and one of their friends goes, "Hey man, check out this video to cheer you up." I hope it's one of mine, and I hope when they click on it, they find out they're blocked, and then whatever happens, happens. All right, let's move on. Because fuck them, that's why. You want to be an insufferable dick? Like, is the thing. I don't argue with people on the internet, man. I don't. I tell you how you're either right or wrong. There's people in my comment section who will be right. Absolutely, and I will tell them to their face. I'm like, you know what? That's fair. I agree with your assessment. You can see it in all my videos. I'm like, yeah, you know, I agree with you. I misspoke. I try to be a down-to-earth person and admit if I'm wrong. So many of these people on the internet just can't. Sorry. Techie, you missed. So first off, I took my pants off. Had those off for a while. No, it's all good, dude. Not much. Favorite meme? Shit. I have no idea. Just gonna tell myself Patriot exceeding expectations were a few. I did see this one today. Tell myself the Patriot exceeding expectations where a few trillion of the failed audit money went. Yeah. You know what we should do? We should go to this guy, Timo Media, and we're just going to do it in real time. Why the fuck not? Let's see. There was one about hypersonics. What was that? Is that this one?
Vladimir Putin is the strongest and smartest president alive.
He said that with a straight face. Here's the thing. This is why you must understand that Wagner has huge money in Africa. They have many different gold mines. I think they have a couple of diamond mines too. And you're seeing why. Okay, so let's see. Let's.
You can argue with your phone. So in the
wait, did you say you could argue with your phone? Hang on, what was it?
Smartest president alive. You can argue with your phone.
You can argue with your phone. Where's my phone? He is not the smartest president alive. I mean, he might be right. Reagan isn't alive anymore. I can't watch that one. Okay, hold on.
Let me tell you how NATO expansion is dangerous for Africa development.
Okay, let's see. Let's see this. I can't wait.
Africa tried uniting. NATO invaded Africa, to be precise, Libya, and they killed Mohammed Gaddafi. Not just that.
I think there was when the Russians had a self-propelled howitzer instead of a hospital. When was that?
Maximus super chatted $4.99.
Hold on, Reagan.
When the Russians hit a self-propelled howitzer instead of a hospital, man shrugging.
I don't talk politics. I liked Reagan just because he always opened with a joke. I wasn't alive for the Reagan administration. I don't think. Maybe.
Weapons to...
Hang on, where's his one about the hypersonics?
Let's use... This week, Russia destroyed depleted uranium storage in Ukraine.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. I watched this one. Let's watch it together, folks.
And the Western media is trying to play games with it.
Okay. The Western media is trying to play games because they hit a depleted uranium storage facility. What the fuck is a depleted uranium storage facility? Do we just have large amounts of depleted uranium just hanging out in storage facilities? No, it's usually refined into ammunition rather quickly. But okay, let's go ahead.
And they also destroyed the Patriot air defense system.
I love how he's just like, hey, I got no facts, so I'm gonna just go ahead and point at this and say that they did this as well. This guy, it's common sense, right? That's what he says, is it's common sense. This fucking, I tell you what, Timo Media, if you ever watch this, if you click on this, if someone sends this to you, if someone tags you in it, I guarantee you, okay, if you get a clearance and you come down here and we get into a secret room together, I will debate you. And if you beat me, I will give $10,000 to the charity of your choice. That's what I will do. Because I guarantee I'm going to fucking crush you. Let's move on. But I'll probably end up giving something to charity anyways, because I'm just a nice guy like that. Oh man, there are depleted fuel rods and other nuclear waste in temporary long-term storage. You're not wrong. But I don't think, like the way he worded it, I think he was just saying like they had a depleted uranium storage facility. Now there is, when they're done in use, there is I guess he could be right. There's about 3 or 4 of those because fucking you guys do have nuclear reactors. So that's fair. That's fair. I might have been wrong there. You're right. Okay, I'll give you that.
By the way, this was confirmed by the Russian Ministry of Defense.
Yeah. The bad guys said they destroyed good guys' weapons, like they're supposed to. Is this in any actual, like? Here's the thing. Every time they say they've destroyed it, a day later it's shooting their shit down still. Like, if the shit was destroyed, it wouldn't be shooting your shit down anymore. But okay.
If you have any doubt, you can cross-check it yourself.
If I have any doubt, I can cross-check it myself. Okay. Where did that... Was that in that chat? Hang on. Where's it at? Where's that one? Okay. As of 2 days ago, they'd taken out another ABT. Air-breathing target. Threat. Shit. Still not supposed to say target. Air-breathing threat. We don't call aircraft targets. Okay. Sorry. Letters not in the Russian alphabet, BDA. The missile knows his location. Can we press Y to accuse? Sure.
We'll come back to the Patriot air defense system, but let's talk about yesterday's.
Okay, let's go.
Russia warned UK not to send this depleted uranium to Ukraine, but they sent it. And
okay, so he's not talking about the depleted uranium rods from the used up. That's why I was laughing at that. So because I have seen this one before. So he wasn't talking about the fuel rods from the nuclear power plants. There's like 2 or 3 of them in Ukraine. He was talking about ammunition. Okay, cool. He's talking about ammunition.
And after the Russians blew out the depleted uranium,
okay, let's just go ahead and say that happened.
According to multiple sources, it is affecting civilians' life because of the radiation. So
I don't know. Look, I'm not a nuclear physicist. I'm really not. But I will tell you right now, we fired depleted uranium rounds when I was a tanker. It's a real thing. Sabos are depleted uranium. Some of the slap rounds we had in our 50 cals were depleted uranium. Them being fired did not reactivate the radiation in them. They didn't just become glowy because they were blowed up. Depleted uranium is just a really, 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 really hard metal. And it's easier to come by than tungsten. That's Jesus Christ.
So who do we blame here? We blame UK, of course. So
he blames UK, or did he say Ukraine?
Russia warned UK not to send this depleted uranium to Ukraine, but they sent, and now innocent civilians are paying the price. So
mouthpieces like this would be like innocent civilians, and then when there's a video on the dam blowing up, I haven't seen that one yet. We should watch that one right after this.
Very soon, the Western media will start reporting that Russia is targeting civilians.
You know what he never talked about is when the Russians were digging trenches and they ran across a bunch of cattle that had been, killed by anthrax, and a bunch of Russians ended up with anthrax. I don't know if you guys heard about that. I read it was a small blurb. I don't know how true it is, but I just did read that too.
But this is not their fault. They did warn you.
Around one of those tanks, they get hit by one. That's fair. No, I get you, not Xi Jinping. I get you.
Okay, not to send this depleted uranium because of the consequences, and now innocent civilians are paying the price.
What? Okay.
So let's talk about the Patriot air defense system. So yesterday, Russia destroyed Patriot air defense system in Ukraine, and I'm going to show you how they destroyed the Patriot air defense system.
Let's see.
Ukraine is quiet. The Western media is quiet.
No, they're not.
America is quiet.
You're an idiot.
Nobody wants to talk about this.
This motherfucker. Okay, I'm sorry, dude. Your front teeth are fucking pen pals. You could floss with a mattress. You're fucking ignorant. You're a mouthpiece of a bunch of fucking people who are ignorant. You have no basis of understanding on the Patriot system. And if I could get a hold of you, I would beat your fucking teeth closed. Jesus Christ. All right.
How? So this is the famous kamikaze drone, and a lot of.
It's a Shahed drone. It's not a kamikaze drone. Kamikazes are in Japan. Fucking retard.
If you are familiar with this drone. So Russia never missed their target. So
yes, they do all the time. That's how they hit innocent civilians and not fucking weapon systems. If you always hit your target, not a single civilian structure would have been destroyed in Bakhmut. Not a single one if Russia never missed their target.
Every airstrike, according to Ukraine, they claim that they always shoot down every missile from the Russians. And according
yes, because they do.
to the Russians also claim that they hit every target. But this is what the Russians use. This is a destructive tool. The kamikaze.
No, they bought those from Iran. They made a deal with Iran because Iran hates us equally. And y'all about to find out why we ain't got free healthcare.
As a drone. You know it's very cheap, so they send them in large.
They're not cheap. They're about $20,000 a piece. Just so you know. Those are not cheap
quantities. And Ukraine will waste all their, missiles on these cheap kamikaze drones. So after they waste the missiles.
Okay. All right. I'm getting to the point where I'm irritable and I'm going to start dropping shit that... Let me put it to you this way. My radar is so fucking good. If you have no idea if you don't want to tell me what you are, if you are flying through the air and you have no interest in telling me what you are, my radar is so fucking good, I can tell you what you are. I can tell you the aircraft type that you are. I can tell the difference between a MiG-31 and a MiG-29. I can tell the difference between an Su-37, 57 and a fucking Su-29, 25, whatever. I can tell the difference between that. I know the difference between those. We're not going to waste our fucking time on these. Those are getting shot down by fucking SHORAD systems. They're getting shot down by fucking shoulder-fired systems. They're getting shot down by machine guns. Because the Shahed drone moves at about 100 miles an hour. Fuck. Twist it. Grab a stick and twist it. Russians' intelligence capability. No one's talking about Russians' intelligence gathering their top-notch technologies.
Edwin
Holy fuck!
Chatted $10. Twist ITHLC.
Oh my god, dude. I didn't even see that. Russia's intelligence gathering is top-notch. Their technology is far beyond the US. No, it's not. It's just not. It's... God, man. Like, I don't want any Americans to go to war. I don't. By no means do I want us to jump into another war. But as an American and knowing what I know about our systems, our intelligence, our logistics, our fucking fires, our coordination of fires, how we operate in a three-dimensional war, knowing what we are capable of, it is like having Babe Ruth watch Little League Baseball. Because both of these could get fucking slap-hammered by Uncle Sam. Like, don't get me wrong. I have no beef with the Ukrainians. Honestly, if... Everyone's like, well, the Ukrainians, they started this war. If you left their border, they would just stop fighting. They're not going to chase you into Russia. And if they do, then we tell them, hey, stop it or give us our shit back, right? Like, that's how it would go. But, like, you fucking idiots don't know. Combat power is defined as the combined total means of constructive, destructive, and information capabilities of a fighting force. And I want you to understand something. No one knows shit, breaks shit, or builds shit faster than Uncle Sam. We can take the entirety of a population of an island, reduce it to 0, and have a fully functioning bar built and stocked within 24 hours. Because Uncle Sam can do that shit. So, Russian intelligence is a terror reading a tech 5 minutes before the meeting. Thank you for breaking me out of that, man. I was in a bad spot. I feel like this is how I vent. Probably. Shahed drones are about as effective as instructions on a shampoo bottle. I know, Nox, you came over. He didn't get it. Should I give him a cookie, guys? Should I give him one? And here's the thing. So, everyone's talking about drone swarms, right? Drone swarms. So, here's what I want you to understand about drone swarms. Everyone's worried about that. Okay, so there's a couple of problems with that. Number one, if you buy an over-the-counter drone, it runs on a frequency. Now, you can buy 2 or 3 of these that run on the similar frequencies within a frequency band. Usually, a drone of any kind runs in a frequency band. You cannot put 1,000 of these in the air at the same time, not over the counter ones. They can't fly together. They will interfere with one another, and they will all crash into each other, and they will fall. Right? So there's the first one. Number 2, if let's say you did figure out that, and you had really good frequency management, and somebody wrote an op task link for your entire fucking drone swarm. Cool. Right? Let's say you figured that out. Number 2, you're going to need an incredible amount of power to guide all of these things from one location to another. And if you fight against someone like us, we're going to find out where that power comes from. Because people are like, oh, what about jamming? What about jamming? Jamming is just putting a shit ton of power into the air. Just like a radar, it makes you very easy to triangulate with multiple sensors. Makes you very, very easy. So jammers are easy to find because they don't, oh, I'm jamming your signal. They don't just block out the whole fucking thing. They usually go like, haha, you don't get to see this area. And we're like, cool, they're in that area. Let's go find it and kill it. And then number 3 is range. If you want to fly those over large range, you're going to have to control them from the air. So you're going to have a bunch of pilots inside a 747, which has the radar cross-section of a 747, trying to pilot all these drones individually. It's not going to work out well for you. There's so many logistical problems with that drone swarm that size. It's just, it doesn't make any damn sense. A couple of them, 20, 30, yeah, okay, that's in the realm of possibility.
Divine_darkness. Super chatted $10. I'm convinced Russian intelligence is trying to reverse physiology America into spilling the beans. But at like elementary school level.
You're not wrong. Reese, yes, I'm active Army. Been in 14 years. Lost link profiles. What? Hold on. What are we? Somebody was saying something about an ammo dump? Remember when... Yeah, psychology. You're good, man. Remember when... It really is. It just... Here's the thing, like... I don't like the possibility of saying we lost in Afghanistan. Because it doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. Every metric you can measure a win or a loss... Man's hiding! Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Mons Hedin super chatted $1.20.
Thank you so much, dude. Have you been drone swarm? Have you seen the drone swarm that are fully autonomous? So, yes and no. You're talking about like what the Chinese did over the Olympics. It's not autonomous. It's pre-programmed. You could do something like that, but you still need... So those things were... There was antennas all over that fucking stadium trying to provide the amount of guidance and power that those things needed. So, again, still one of the logistic problems. Didn't know they destroyed an ammo depot. I mean, there's a lot of ammo depots and shit getting destroyed. When UAV loses link, you can set it to return to home. You don't need to be need them to be transmitting. You're right. You're absolutely correct. And if you're fighting against the U.S., we're going to follow it all the way back to you. Totally agree. So we have different systems like the SLAM. There's a shoulder-fired one. I can't remember what it's called. I'm done dealing with this guy. So let's hold on. I want to see his one. Who blew up the dam? Let's see.
So who blew up the dam?
Let's see.
Western America is blaming Russia, and Russia is also blaming the Western America. Let's make some quick analysis.
Okay.
This dam is located in Kherson. I hope you guys remember General Surovikin. So when General Surovikin was appointed as the commander of the special military operation in Ukraine.
That's how you can tell he's being paid by somebody from the Russian media or Russians in general. He's not referring to it as a conflict, a war, anything other than a special military operation. He never calls it anything but that. So they're paying his way.
In his opening address, he spoke about Kherson. And he said the Western America, together with Ukraine, is planning to blow up the dam in Kherson.
So that could easily be... So here's the thing. Let's break this down, right? Let's look at it from an abstract perspective, right? What does the U.S. have to gain, which he may go into, have to gain from blowing up this dam? Nothing. It provides us no strategic asset. It provides no benefit. What does the other side have to benefit from it? You can stop an attack. You can control areas of the battlefield, right? So that's in their benefit, right? So, well, why would they blow it up if they're going to drown some of their own people too? Well, it makes it easier for them to yell this false flag thing, right? Where they say, hey, about a week before we blow it up, I'm going to say, hey, the Western United States apparently says they're going to blow up this dam, and then we blow it up ourselves and we just don't tell anybody, right? So this could be done either way, but one side doesn't really have any motivation for blowing up this dam. We just don't. Like, if you guys know a motivation we have, cool, let me know. But I don't see a purpose of blowing this up for one side. Russians controlled that dam is still due. Oh, imagine that! We got somebody in chat who has real info. That's what I'm talking about. Who blew up the dam? Was it the people who mined, threatened to blow it up? Yep. Talk to me about Bryn Woods. I mean, Bryn Woods, she likes being a smart ass. We don't have aircrafts and missiles. So this is the thing. It would just stop ground attacks. That's what it's doing there. Line crosser is the missile. Let's see.
So one of the reasons, I'm not saying that is the entire reason.
Here we'll let this play. Reese, I don't talk politics, man. Nothing personal.
Beskar, speechless face, 66. Super Shattered $3.31. How blew up the dam in Ukraine? We will never know. Wink wink cough Russia cough. I mean it was totally accidental. No one blew it up. What dam?
Alright, let's see.
But I'm saying one of the reasons why the Russians evacuated civilians from Kherson is because of the dam. Because the Russians said Ukraine and the Western America is planning to blow up the dam. And if they...
Did he just step on his own dick right there? Say, the Russians evacuated people because America said they were going to blow it up.
The slimiest Fiberlog super chatted $1.99. When the world needed him the most, he delivered.
Oh, man. All right. So, but that's illogical. So why wouldn't the Russians evacuate people from Belgorod, from all these other, border cities that are under threat from Ukraine? They're just like, nope, we're just going to do the dam, right? So that doesn't make any damn sense. Okay.
Blow up the dam. It is going to
take it easy, thwack.
Kill a lot of civilians in the city. So that was one of the main reasons why the Russians evacuated civilians to the West Bank River. So clearly, the Russians knew that this was going to come. Now, why would the Russians blow up this dam? Because Kherson is part of Russia now. Because these people voted to be part of Russia. They are ethnic Russians. Historically, Kherson is part of Russia. So why would Russia...
In the 1980s, it was part of Russia. Before that. After that, it wasn't. But okay.
Blew up the dam. What is their motive? Now, note, this is how the Western America operate. I hope you guys remember Crimea Bridge. When they blew up the Crimea Bridge, they quickly came out and blamed it on Russia.
Because it was.
I hope you guys remember the S-300 air defense missile that landed in Poland. They quickly came out and blamed it on Russia. Later, they themselves came out and said, look, it's not Russia. Even in Crimea. Independent.
No one ever claimed responsibility for that missile in Poland. No one knew it was an S-300. It was just a missile. But okay. I mean, I didn't look into it any further. It was just a missile that landed in Poland. And the Polish are just looking for a reason, right? The Polish are just ready to fucking rock shit. Imagine that, Reese.
Journalists and independent investigators concluded that this was not Russia. I hope you guys remember Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2. When America blew up Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2.
I don't know about Nord Stream. That could have been us. I don't know. Why would America blow up a dam when we could just blow up their convoys, stop the push there? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. This whole argument is illogical. I can't watch this guy anymore. I just can't. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. This guy, he's...
Divine_darkness.
Oh my god, he fucking hurts my brain.
Why would America blow up a dam when we could just blow up their convoys and stop the push there? Like Logistica? Like Kali? Are we talking Midwest?
Alright, tell you what, let's look at the old Graham. Where do I find notifications? How do I... Oh, there we go. There we go. There, now it's working. How do I filter these damn things? Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got my silver button. It's still on the floor right here. I haven't even hung it up yet. No more. I can't watch that guy, man. He's just... I don't know how you can be on the internet and just be spouting so much incorrect information and be so proud about it. Like I like it. So I get the worst like embarrassment for other people. I don't know how many of you have ever seen the movie The Jerk with was it Steve Harvey? When he did embarrassing shit in that movie, I just like had to cover my face because I have embarrassment for other people, and I'm embarrassed for that guy. Like I'm not even mad at him. I'm not like I don't hate him. He is so ill-informed and stupid. I feel bad for him. I'm embarrassed for the words that are coming out of his mouth because they're so far from the truth. I want people to be accurate. Like somebody, when we first got in here, they're like, hey, did you see the Leopards that actually got hit and the Bradleys? Yes, I did. I absolutely saw that. They did a frontal assault during the daytime in a linear formation. It was a terrible tactical fucking decision. I don't know who decided that was a good idea. Maybe they got bogged down in the night and made late RP. I don't know. I don't know the details. That was a dumb tactical decision. The Russians made the exact same tactical decision last year and got themselves bodied. What's hanging above dude's plane head that looks like paper airplane? What? Huh? Are you guys looking at Dan Crenshaw? I follow politicians because I think it's funny, okay? You leave me alone. And then Stephosaurus Flex. I don't know if you guys watch her. She's a good friend. Steve Harvey is that show host, ain't he? No, you're thinking of... Did I say Steve Harvey? Shit, it's not Steve Harvey. It's... Who the fuck was in it? They were flanking, hit a minefield, were under a cheap Russian drone they called Artie. Makes sense. Steve Martin! Steve Martin! There you go, that's who. Again, it was a bad frontal assault. They should have done... So we knew sending in Leopards, Challengers, and Abrams that it was not going to be tank-on-tank battles. The years of tank-on-tank battles are behind us because you can take out one so easily with an anti-tank guided missile and just dismounts. You can do it so easily. We've been bodying, well, the Ukrainians have been bodying Russian T-80s, T-72s, T-90s, and T-55s with anti-tank guided missiles. It's just easy to do it. So now they're trying to go on the offensive, which makes things a lot more dangerous. There is certain areas that I've heard reports they've moved between 5 and 17 kilometers. I don't know how true that is. I know that walking Artie in front of you can provide certain tactical advantages in fights like this, but without air, it's going to be hard. What's my favorite plane? Ooh. The P-51. I do love me a good Mustang. She's pretty. Will she marry me? Stephosaurus? Probably not. She loves giving people a hard time. We got 1.2 kilometers into Bakhmut. Guess it's not taken. So, maybe you can tell me something there, man. I don't know how to pronounce your name because it's written with like all the buttons on a calculator I never pushed. That's a joke. I'm sorry. I just have no idea how to read that. What is the tactical advantage of having Bakhmut? Like, what is it? What is the benefit of taking Bakhmut? Because from what I'm tracking, it's nothing but ruins. Like, there's no big thoroughfares there, or thoroughfares. There's no big railway stations producing anything there. Like, I don't know what's all there. And to me, it seems like that the Ukrainians and the Russians are just fighting over this city for the sakes of fighting over it, which sounds like Yaroslav. No, there's none? Is that what you're saying? There's none? It's a dam outside of Kherson, that was blown up by the Russians, and it's subsequently killed a lot of people and flooded a lot of homes. And unfortunately, there's like humanitarians there trying to help out in the flood and like trying to get people out, and they're being shelled by Russians, which is a huge fucking problem. Which I think really showcases two things: showcases Russian desperation, and it showcases their lack of humanitarianism. I can't think of a single other country in this world that has perpetrated atrocities like that against civilian population, with the exception of the rape of Nanking by the Empire of Japan. That's the only one I can think of that was this just atrocious towards humans, just randomly. For the fact of, we're going to blow up this dam and we're going to shoot people who are trying to get them out. Like, that's a new level of low. It really is. Again, I was never emotionally invested in this conflict. I wasn't. And now, after seeing what the Russians are doing to people and how inhuman they are, I cannot wait. Every time I hear of Ukrainians bodying Russians, I get happy. I get emotionally invested because I watched what those monsters have done to innocents, and that bothers me. That's where I became emotionally invested. Again, I didn't really care for the longest time, but that's where I got emotionally invested. Japan and Germany did worse. That's fair. That's fair, Jonathan. Germany, I didn't think about Nazi Germany. I didn't think about that. North Korea. they're just kind of all around shitty to their population. They're not like specific, like we're going to flood you and then bomb you. Like they're just like, you don't get to eat. So what are my sources? We've been Gaming Inc. I try and get as many sources in different locations as I possibly can. Preston Stewart is a great source. I'm actually going to be on his podcast tomorrow. He does American and Russian. He goes to Telegram. I don't have a Telegram, but I do a lot of different Reddits. I look through news articles. I try and look at things from different perspectives. I look at third-party sources, news articles. So like when I find something that I fixate on, like, okay, what happened here? Like with this dam, I want to see it from a bunch of different sources that have a bunch of different backing behind them because I want to try and make my best assessment for what is going on during that time. The only exception is when it comes to like sources on Patriot, my sources are direct. I'm not going to tell you how direct, but just very, very direct. I don't need to go to the news. Most of the time, I'm still waiting. I'm really surprised you guys haven't seen the pictures of the damage to the Patriot system. Most of us have them. I don't have them. I didn't want them on my phone, but I know a few people that have them. And you'll look at it and be like, that's it? That's all that happened? Yes, that's all that happened. I'm surprised they haven't come out yet. I've been waiting for them, like seeing if they pop up on a Reddit or something like that, but they haven't popped up. Link to this? To what? So, Jonathan Cooper about the nukes. What I like to say when people bring up the nuclear weapons that the United States used, it was a means to an end, yes, absolutely. But if you actually look into it, more people were killed on mainland Japan by napalm than both atomic bombs combined. Most people don't know that. We were shitty towards each other back then. It was just like, I'm going to kill more of you than you have to throw at me. It was a really shitty way to be towards each other. It was absolutely awful. But keep in mind, a lot of these guys were really pissed off for what happened in like the Bataan Peninsula. So they had a reason. It wasn't necessarily just Pearl Harbor. Like, don't get me wrong, Pearl Harbor was the catalyst, but the Bataan Peninsula was awful. The things that happened to those guys, if you've never read the book, I think it's Unbroken or Unbreakable. It's about one of the survivors at the Bataan Death March. Here's the thing. Read the book. Don't watch the movie. They made a movie about it, but like half of the book didn't make it into the movie because it couldn't be put in the movie. Because it would have been beyond rated R. It would have been the worst thing you possibly fucking imagine. And when this guy's writing about this stuff, you're like, holy shit. It's wild, man, the things that those guys went through. Armchair tacticians for the win. I guess that's, in some aspect, I am too. Saddam towards the Kurds. Yeah, Saddam was pretty shitty. I'll give you that one. Get into what you talking about? The rape of Nanking. Is that what you're talking about, Jonathan? I know they were real bad to the Japanese. I don't know about, or not the Japanese, the Chinese, the Koreans. I don't know. I know they took Korea, but I wasn't sure. Back then, there was also a theory: if you kill enough civilians, people will give up. Yep, it really is. USSR did kill a lot of their own people. Yeah, it would have been so many on attacking from the ground. Is the S300 or 400 cost effective in your opinion? Okay, so how do I word this? Is the S300 or 400 a good air defense system? Yes, it is a good, and I use that term loosely, it is a good air defense system. Is it great? No. And here's why. They put too much emphasis on things that are unimportant. Like, the sheer fact that an air defense system has a ground attack mode tells me that you're trying to make it do more than one thing, which means it's going to fail at both. Secondly, with a fraction of the volume that was thrown at the Patriot system. So keep in mind that Patriot system dealt with a good volume of missiles every single time it's had an engagement, right? A decent volume. That volume has never been thrown in an S300 or S400, so we just don't know. But less volume than that was thrown at an S400, and from a Gimler's, it was taken out. Well, the command node was taken out, right? The command, whatever the command vehicle is, right, was taken out. We saw pictures of that. We saw the video of that. For the longest time, I didn't really want to say anything about it until eventually a friend of mine from Direct got back to me and was like, yeah, we fucked that up. So with a fraction of the volume, it's failing to intercept those things. Now, there could be a plethora of reasons why that happened. Like if you threw a Gimler's at Patriot, Patriot's going to smoke it. If you threw a Gimler's at Thad, Thad is not going to be able to engage that. It's too low. We have a layered air defense system. I don't know if the 400 just couldn't reach low enough and it had a low arc. I don't know all these details of why that happened, right? I don't know. But I know that with a fraction of the assault that has been on Kyiv like nonstop, the Ukrainians have successfully destroyed one of them. So, well, at least one of the hubs, the main control node. So, also interesting thing, and most people don't know this, because people are like, well, the Russians are claiming that they can detect stealth aircraft. Yes. Crazy, right? So stealth aircraft is specifically designed to counter high frequency radars, and high frequency or high or ultra high, they're all in, there's a certain frequency band that covers that, right? But Russians have a high or two highs and a low frequency radar on the S-400. So they can detect, which would make it like, holy shit, they can shoot it down. That's the problem. Their low frequency radar can detect that F-35 or that F-22 coming to get them because it can detect those things, but it doesn't have high enough fidelity data to engage off of it. And it can't cue the other sensors because it'll tell the other sensors, hey, it's right here, and they'll go to look and they can't find it. They can't find it because the radar cross-section is too low. So they'll be able to see it from one of their sensors, come all the way in and kill them and then leave. That's what they'll be able to see. Can it see them? Yes. Can it engage them? No, because it doesn't provide high enough track fidelity. They can maybe fire at it, but that F-35 is going to be like, that's cool, and just kind of like get out of the way. Like, that was stupid. We had a dozen hits on our power lines. Jesus. Do I think American Air Force? Absolutely. So this is the thing. It's not just the equipment. Everyone's like, well, our equipment's better. Yes, it's better. But it's the volume of equipment and the training on the equipment, right? So prior to this war in Ukraine, Russian pilots were getting maybe 25 to 30 hours of flight time a year. Our pilots are required fucking 60 a month. So of flight hours. So keep that in mind. I think it's like 60, maybe it's 40. I'm not sure. But we're required that about monthly. So the amount of experience we have on our systems, we put a high emphasis on education. Like you guys see the movie Top Gun and you're like, okay, it's a bunch of fucking super, giga chads with dog tags hanging out in blue jeans and they're playing volleyball, right? But in reality, you learn an incredible amount from those schools. The Army has a Top Gun course. Our officers and warrant officers go to Top Gun here, and they get Top Gun certified. And they're some of the best and brightest of the air defense branch because they understand things like radar theory and track dueling and link architecture and fucking track correlation, link IDs, PPLIs, all these other things that they really know the ins and outs of because we put such a high emphasis on education. Our people are very, 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 very well trained, right? Now, can I go out there and karate chop burning bricks like you see Russians doing? No, absolutely not. But could I convince you, or could I explain to you how ducting works and how to combat it with a Patriot radar? Absolutely. Can I tell you how intercept dynamics works? How to combat early release submunition, dive variation, or frickin' excessive lateral acceleration? Absolutely. Can I tell you how to change my missile shot preference? 100%. I also can't do basic math, but that's neither here nor there, right? So we put a high emphasis on education in all of our forces. They don't do that. Not as much anyways. Is it true that USMC MREs come with Crayolas? Not that I know of, man. How close can a stealth aircraft be to a radar before it can be locked on with a modern aircraft? Okay, so that's a great question, right? So when people are talking about radar cross-section reduction, so radar cross-section is based off of what the radar sees of an image, right? So think about it like you're looking at it through a camera. And as that thing's further away, it looks like a dot. It looks like a dot. And as it gets closer, it gets bigger and bigger, and you get better view of it, until eventually, boom, you can see exactly what it is. You can make out details on it. That's how that works, right? So when people are like, well, my radar cross-section is the size of a bumblebee, like the F-22. Now, to an average sensor, seeing a bumblebee way out there is physically impossible. Even our sensors, that's really impossible. Can we detect F-22s? Yes. If they're close enough. We can detect any stealth aircraft. Every sensor in the world can detect stealth aircraft if it's close enough. Because the number of beams you have going into the air, because a phased array radar uses digitally steerable beams instead of a waveform like you would with a Doppler radar, right? So a phased array radar shoots out millions of pencil beams every second, just blasting through the air, right? And like a shotgun, they spread out the further they go. So it's harder to see those small objects like that bumblebee. But as that bumblebee gets closer and closer, the chances of one of those beams, ping, bouncing off and coming back saying, hey, there's something here, and maybe a couple more hitting it over and over and over and bouncing back, then all of a sudden, boop, you got a track. But chances are, by the time you pick up that track, you're dead. Sorry. It's just the way it is. So that's kind of how it works. Does that make sense? Is radar notching effective for the Patriot missile defense system? Hang on. Yeah, but I don't know for how long. Again, all notching is a finite resource, but our system, it's really good and really good at looking through things and paying attention to them. Can I explain what happened if a nuclear missile was intercepted? Oh, actually, that's a great question. Hold on, let this play real quick.
$5. Are the Patriot system and the S-400 capable of determining mold-type decoys versus the real threat in a time to identify and launch on the real threat?
The short answer is yes. I don't know about the S-400, but Patriot can. I can't give you any more details. I can't explain how it works, but yes. Yes. Okay, so the question was... It's a big bottle of booze. No, it's just water. I can't drink. I'm going to stay sober until the Backbone Ball, which is next Thursday. So I'm looking forward. I'm the MC for the Backbone Ball. Ship out to basic in September? Well, you better pass then. Don't be a loser. Okay, so what would happen if a nuclear weapon was intercepted? And that's a great question because a lot of people don't know. So for a nuclear weapon to happen, you have a couple of different types of them, right? And I'm not a nuclear weapon designer, right? But you can just like public source, open source. You see ones like Fat Man and Little Boy who had, one version had a bunch of explosives all around a ball of plutonium, and they would cause, it was an implosion style, right? And they would all blow up almost simultaneously, like within milliseconds of each other, and compress this thing, and then boom, nuclear fission would start, and kaboom, right? That's how that one version is. The other one had like a rod of fucking uranium, and then another one of uranium, and it would explode, and they would smash into each other, and that would cause the nuclear reaction. Now there's some with like chemicals and things that they can do now, but anyways, for a nuclear weapon to go off, it is a very specific set of circumstances in a very specific order for that to happen. If you hit it hard enough with a missile, the chances of those things being knocked out of order are very high. So the worst case scenario you're looking at is a dirty bomb. Which a dirty bomb is just where a radioactive something is blown up over an area. That's what a dirty bomb is. It's not a nuclear reaction, so the worst case scenario is a dirty bomb. So everyone assumes that when you hit a nuclear weapon, you're going to just set it off. No, it's not like a conventional weapon system. A conventional weapon, like explosives, require two things: heat and pressure. That's all they require. So if you hit it with a missile moving Mach classified, creates heat and pressure, kaboom. So, good question. Great question.
Big Mike Gaming super chatted $2. Soviet versus modern Russia. Who wins in battle?
Soviet 100 times over. But that's also because Soviet had a severe... they didn't care about their people, like at all. They just threw them. I mean, Russia kind of still does that, but yeah. Bingo. F-14, you're absolutely correct about that. You're working into a filter. So the way notching works, and you can look this up, this is open source, is you're coming at that radar's detecting you, right? It's every time it detects you, you're getting closer. Right? So that's how radar notching works. Ooh, thank you so much.
SPR 101 ST. Super chatted $10. When I was a crew chief on the B-1 bomber, we did quite a few training sorties a week. It can also hold 8 2K LB bombs for a total of 24. Plus it holds the biggest payload of the 3 bombers in service.
The B1. I've never seen one in real life. I always wanted to. Someday maybe. So when sorry, it's detecting you as you're coming in. So if you're moving sideways, it's still detecting you. It's something is moving because radars filter out. Radars get returns off of all sorts of stuff. Humidity, fucking dust, they get returns off of all sorts of crazy weird shit, right? So it has to detect something for a couple of like returns to actually try and identify it. And what it'll do is it'll be like, well, there's something there. Let me throw a little bit more beams here because they're digitally steerable. And then boom, boom, boom. And it's like, boom, there's a track there. So what happens is when you notch a radar, as you're coming in, let's say you get picked up by the radar, right? When I said that thing about moving 90 degrees is because for a split second you turn 90 degrees and that convinces the radar, which is looking at you, that the object that was coming at them has now stopped, which means that you have fallen into one of their filters. So they're filtering you out temporarily because they think that you were a false track. You were something that didn't exist. You were a cloud that maybe they detected. You were maybe some humidity in the air. They were something else, right? So the radar goes, oh, that's nothing, right? Filters you out. You get nap of the earth because eventually it's going to pick you up again because you can't just stop. So then that's why you need to be nap of the earth because the curvature of the earth and radars, like our radar is really good. And if you get close enough to any radar, nap of the earth goes away. It doesn't mean anything. Right? Any radar has a certain low level detection range that it's going to pick you up no matter what. Your goal is to get as close as you can to release your payload, you know, the fucking wild weasel shit, right? To release your payload and get out of there before that radar can differentiate you between the treetops or the mountains or whatever you're flying in. So that's how that whole process works. Sorry, I'm being a fucking radar nerd again. Jesus, hold on, there's a lot going on. Harm it, then run it. Absolutely. So it's always 90 down. Can it be 90 to the side? So as long as it can be to the side. So this is the thing. Some people, there's a couple different ways to wild weasel. You can either, as you're coming in, you can either turn like roll that way and go down on your side. Or sometimes they just kind of roll over to their side and go down, right? So it's a finite resource, but it doesn't always work. It really depends on the aspect ratio of what the radar is looking at, right? So you don't really know if you've got into the radar notch or not, which is a scary fucking thing, right? Like these guys get good at it. They train it, they practice it, but you never really know. So it's a little scary, right? Thank you so much, Ghostly. I appreciate it. Also, how soon you get into the radar notch. Absolutely. If it's picked you up for a while, it's got pretty good track fidelity on you because the longer radars look at you, especially smart phased array radars, they're going to start to figure out what the fuck you are. Let's multiply the sub count by 100. I would love that. Do I ever worry about saying something classified on accident? I do. But I try and think everything through before I say anything. And this is the thing. There's a couple different classifications I deal with. Obviously, secret information. Most secret information is just numbers. At least my level of secret is just numbers. I could post a bunch of abstract numbers on a billboard somewhere, and nobody except for our enemies would give a shit. Now, unclassified information falls into a couple of different categories there. You have CUI, controlled unclassified information. You have classified FOUO or unclass FOUO for official use only. So like I can get into the Dash 10, I could grab my ID card, plug it into this computer right now, and I could go to Army Pubs and download the Dash 10 for the Patriot Radar or the Patriot ECS. And it'll tell you every single tab inside of Patriot Radar. Tab is a tabular entry. You pull up, they're all numbered, 1 through 99, but they're not sequential. There's some that are skipped for reasons that I don't fully understand. And it says what's inside every single one of them. And it says what everything means inside every single one of them. But I'm pretty sure that's unclass FOUO, so I don't say it. So I try to be very smart with my classification markings. Thank you, though. Good question. The pucker factor of if I poke over this ridge to attack, will they have a solution to eliminate the plane waiting to meet you would be fierce. Oh, yeah. What about Iris T? Can you also notch an Iris T? I assume so. All radars, to some extent, can be notched. Here's the reason, right? Because you want your radar to see as much as it can, so you get very strict parameters for what it's supposed to not see, right? Because you'll detect all kinds of shit. I mean, you can detect birds if you want. You can detect cars driving on a road if you're looking at a road. Like, there's so many things you can actually detect with a radar, but you want to not waste those resources. Why am I going to waste resources looking at cars on a road? Because all radars are limited by the amount of power that they can put out, right? Why would I want to waste those resources looking at a road when I could tell it some stricter parameters so that it's not looking at the road, and then boom, I have more resources to detect incoming aircraft. So oh, okay. So I don't know much about the Iris-T. I know very little about it, but if it's fucking visual recognition, then yeah, it wouldn't really, notching wouldn't matter. Can you even notch a missile with today's radar technology? Yeah, in theory, I assume. How many so Supernova, the Grim Reapers on YouTube here, they do stuff in that like DCS world. They did, I think, a bunch of F-22s, maybe it was 35s in World War II, and their biggest problem is they just kept running out of ammunition. They were because there were so many like Japanese Zeros in the air. So you can't notch the Iris-T because it detects heat output by the target, not how it's moving. Yep, okay, so heat seekers you can't notch. But here's the thing, right? So that whole like Cobra maneuver, right? The Su-57 does the Cobra maneuver. That's okay with heat seekers, right? That's okay. It might work because you're pushing thrust out the back and it may chase the thrust and may go that way. It really depends on where you're coming from, right? But other than that, it's a really dumb maneuver. Like, if you are an Su-57 pilot and someone locks onto you with a radar and they're shooting at you from BVR, beyond visual range, and you think, I'm going to do a Cobra maneuver, you're going to die. Because all you've done is that thing that is now coming at you from behind. You have now made your radar cross-section even larger, and you have bled off all your airspeed. Congratulations, you are dead even faster. So everyone, like all the Russian fanboys, we can Cobra. Cool, that only works in fucking Top Gun movies. That doesn't work any other time. It's everything that we throw at you is beyond visual range now. Good job. The Forbidden Heat signature is the best decoy. Oh yes. So I've seen parts of the Grim Reapers. I need to follow them. I need to sub to them. That's why we need to get HLC in the round table with Fat Electrician Donut. Oh, bro, I'd be a kid in a candy store. But it's cool in Ace Combat. I'm sure it is. This is the thing. It's if you're in a dogfight, like if you're in like someone's chasing you and you need to fucking do something like that, it'll probably work. If you're doing just guns, that would probably be an effective strategy. Honestly, you can bleed off a lot of airspeed. You're hard to chase. If they try to pull up into you, they're just going to crash into you. Like it would work really good. But most fighter combat nowadays is going to be beyond visual range. They have a Pack 3 video. I have to check it out. Are the tabs records of former intercept? No, they are ways to configure the system. For example, everything you put into a tabular entry has an effect on the system. Now, this can be changing my alternate search sectors. Like if I don't need to look this wide and I want to bring them in a little bit, or I want to bring them out a little wider, like how far my radar looks to save radar resources, you adjust that in a tab. If I want to tell my system, I'm trying to think of the ones that are like, okay. So like if I'm going to authorize something, like if I say, hey, everything out there flying with these type of codes is automatically identified as a friend, I can authorize that. So when my radar detects something like that and says, hey, this person has this code, they're a friend automatically. I don't do anything and the system will automatically do that. It also, tab entries affect how the system performs certain lethal actions. Like it's saying, hey, I can program it that, hey, all right, if this target comes in, something that looks like this, moves like this, acts like this, right? This target comes at me, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire this type of missile at it first. And if I miss, I'm going to fire this type of missile at it. You can set those parameters. Those are all things in tabular entries. This is known as a database. And you change them on the fly. You can change your radar frequencies on the fly. You can change your how your engagements happen, your engagement altitudes. Like you can do all these in real time. Free bird. Let's see the damn bust video. Ooh. For this guy, the Timo Media. The day the dollar dies, man will respect each other. As he's getting paid by Russia. I'm sorry, I just found that very funny. Which one do I think is better, the Striker or the Bradley? Bradley. I don't like Strikers. I've never been a fan of them. Fake stream, for real, probably. Okay, Beskar. I'm gonna let it play. Is it gonna play? Is it not gonna play? There we go.
Beskar, speechless face, 66. Super chatted $6.62. Question: as an Australian, why are so many Americans terrified of
Jerry
our country?
Recruit.
Okay, we have lots of things that will kill you, but if you $K around you find out, just don't be stupid and leave it. Shocked face, Speedy, speechless face, speechless face.
You know, I would love to come visit Australia, but only like Sydney. This is the thing, I don't want to go to cities anywhere else, but I am not going to go in the outback. You got me fucked up. Just because, like, y'all just... I think it's your nation's history that led up to like what the way it is now, right? Like you guys were just a prison colony. No offense, just historically speaking, right? You were a prison colony, and then you all were just like, you know what? We weren't supposed to live, but let's just do it. And you guys just lived. And then we see things like Crocodile Dundee, which apparently he's also banned from the United States for tax evasion. So good on you, Aussies. You stuck it to the tax man. Honestly, I'm proud of you for that. Sorry. The military seems like it uses math a lot, and it's so interesting. Some people do. Like I tried to learn Exos Min QE from some 13 Juliets, and I did the math, and the mathed, and then they told me that the math was wrong, and I said, why? And they said, because you're supposed to round up, and I said, why do I round up? And they said, you just do. It's Artillery Express. And that's when I realized that if someone's life depended on my ability to do math, they're not going to make it. Do I think the Patriot would be good for Australia? No, actually, I don't. And here's why. Australia is so far away from everybody else, the threats that would be coming at you would be in the ICBM territory. ICBM defense is more Aegis Ashore or THAAD. Patriot has limited capability against those things. Now, if someone landed in Australia, and God fucking good luck to them, because the Outback's going to fuck them up, and they started firing short-range ballistic missiles, yeah, that would be time to have that. But because of Australia's geographic location, you should definitely be using something like THAAD, or, I mean, hell, you could even, if you want to get an S-400, go ahead, because it's got a higher reach. How do I feel about the Patriots and Command & Conquer Generals? I think they're cute, but we have no ground attack mode. Let me see. Yeah, it's weird how it converts to US dollars. Going to Australia and expecting it to be like is robbing a Buc-ee's. The Lav 25, what's my opinion on the Lav 25? I don't know anything about the Lav 25. Why is that GIF using a Russian Soviet space? Is he? I just picked a space one, man. Leave me alone. Come to Arizona instead. I've been to Arizona. I've driven on the 10. That shit is like fucking Road Warrior. No. I lived in Las Cruces for 4 years, and my wife and I, we went and bought her car in Phoenix? I think that's on the 10. When it's literally just hop on the 10 and you drive all the way there. And I thought the 10 was bad in El Paso. Fuck no. You just, like, if y'all have never driven on the 10 in Arizona, it's like motherfuckers in the left lane doing 130. I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating, dude. I was in the left lane. I was doing a $105 and people were behind me like flashing their lights and honking at me, right? So I was doing 105 miles an hour and they're just like, fucking move. I'm not going fast enough. Meanwhile, motherfuckers in the right lane, right? All the way in the right lane are doing 27 miles an hour. People in the center lane, there was a dude pulled over just like smoking. Like I was like, hey man, you need a hand? And he's like, no, I'm just chilling. Like, dude, the 10 is wild, man. Fuck no. Does the speed of an aircraft affect radar detection? No, not really. Radar cross-section is far more effective than speed. Speed does affect our ability to engage it, right? Because I talk about how, like, missiles coming at me, it's easier to engage missile. no matter how fast missile is going, right? And I talked about that. But aircraft flying over, like, people are like, hey, would you be able to engage an SR-71? I said it would have to be really good circumstances. Could I detect it that high? Yes. But I think, keep in mind, your missile has to get from the ground up to, 90,000 feet is where those things fly at, and they're moving at Mach 3.3, so they're not there very long, so you're trying to catch up to them by the time they overflight you. It's just not good. Oh, man. So I'm just reading. What would be the ideal number of Patriots to defend Ukraine? More than we have in our arsenal. That's the unfortunate reality. So this is the thing. Everybody, us, the Russians, the fucking Ukrainians, everybody everywhere needs more air defense. But you have to be able to man those systems, and you have to be able to build those systems. They take a while to build. You can't just rip them off the showroom floor and just fucking make it happen. They take a while to build, and they take a while to man. But here's the thing. Having too many Patriots is also a bad thing, because they do network together, and you have things like engage hold and fucking other modifiers to keep people from over-engaging. But it's happened before in US's past, where we've had one Patriot unit engaged that wasn't networked with another one, and that other unit engaged too, and you had over-engagement and waste of missiles. So that's also a possibility that we would try to avoid. Air-to-air? What about air-to-air? What? Hold on, what did I miss? How much would it cost to fully equip Ukraine with Patriots? $30, $40 billion, give or take. I mean, that's a good fucking chunk of change. Drones get shot down by automatic rifles, yep. So I can't say what, because I'm obviously bound by fucking laws and non-disclosure agreements and things like that, but their drone defense is in everybody's brain right now. Everyone in the military, every new system we have coming online, their big question is drones. Will it help with drones? Can we handle drones? Drones are a huge thing. So in the future, our systems coming online will be able to deal with drones. We got people talking about, when I was in UAE, they had the Air Force would drive out with the security forces would drive out on the runway and start shooting at them fucking 12 gauges. When I was there, we also had an Emirati guy, because this is the thing. So when you're in the Emirates, you forget you're in the Middle East. Honestly, it's fucking beautiful. I mean, aside from it being 120 degrees and fucking sand everywhere, right? But the buildings are nice, the roads are nice, things don't stink. It doesn't smell like shit in the middle of the desert. You forget you're in the Middle East. It's wow, this is really nice, right? I mean, it's really well. Until you drive on the highway. Then you remember you're in the Middle East. Motherfuckers doing 160 kilometers down the road, just hauling ass all over the place, driving the wrong way down the highway. Ain't no one stopping them. That's when you're like, yep, I'm still in the Middle East, right? But it's crazy, because the Emiratis would drive like fucking madmen across the runway. Now, if you're in here and you were part of the Air Force, this is going to hurt you profusely. So there was an Emirati guy doing 110 kilometers an hour, and we got put in combo blackout when it happened, doing 110 kilometers an hour down the runway. Of all things, this individual could have ran into, I'm gonna give it up to chat. What do you think he crashed into? What do you think he died on impact. Gone. But what do you think he crashed into? I don't know enough about NASAMS, Nedge. Camel, no. Not an M1A1, nope. Air Force, it was an Air Force thing. Ground KC-135, nope. F-16, nope. Runway light, nope. Fueler, another car. Security pole, F-16, nope. F-117 ain't far off. Not far off. B-2, no. A Patriot, no. F-15, no. Nope. Paper plane T-wall kid on a 10-speed. He ran into a U-2 Dragon Lady. of all things you could crash into at going 100 miles an hour, he ran into a fucking U-2 Dragon Lady. An American spy plane. And that's what he crashed into. Destroyed the plane. Completely fucking destroyed the plane. We had to shred it because, or like, they sent it back to the States. I don't think they repaired it. I think they just sent it to the scrapyard because he'd cracked the fuselage, had fucking destroyed everything. And of all things, yeah, they don't make the U-2 Dragon Lady anymore. They stopped making them in the 1970s. It's a 1950s spy plane. The pilots literally wear like fucking spacesuits because they go up to like the edge of space, and that's where they fly at when they do their spy missions. Yeah. Yeah, Gra Recruit. Yeah, there's only like 5 of them left in the world, like maybe 10 of them left in the world that the US uses. And that was one of them, just went bye-bye. So yeah. Why was a spy plane where it could be hit by a car? It was lining up to go take off. Their pre-flight's like 4 hours, so they get them in there in their spacesuits, and they got like cool air and water circulating through their fucking spacesuits and shit, and they were on the runway. It's a black plane, it's at night. And they were just on the runway. Some old boy came fucking flying up, crashed into the side of the fucking plane. Rocket-powered glider. That's pretty much it, Axeman. Absolutely. Yeah. Was the pilot? Yeah, pilots survived. The individual driving did not survive. They wear spacesuits because it's easier than pressurize the plane. Yep. So he was in the military. He was in a military like SUV. He was in the military. He was just flying down the fucking runway. Was it the chase car? No, it was some, I think it was a like Explorer or something. Stop giving Russians ideas. Emirati guy, in a way, lucky he died on impact because otherwise the US would not have made it quick. I don't know what they would have done, man. Yeah. Fucking U-2. Yeah, no, they're still in use, man. They're the loudest fucking things in the world. You always know, like when we had a U-2 in Osan Air Base. There's like one in Korea. And everybody on base, we'd be talking, and then you just start hearing this rumble, and we're like, hold on. And we knew we'd have to wait fucking 2 minutes before you can speak again, because it's just fucking the loudest shit you've ever heard in your goddamn life. It's just rattling everything on the base, and you're like, yep, it'll be taken off sooner or later. Just wait. He was doing like 110, I think, yeah. I don't know, this is Explorer. First stream, me Bentu Beer Cat, thank you so much for being here. We're going to do this for you. And so it's stealth-ish. Stealth-ish. In the 1950s, it was considered stealth, but its reduction in radar cross-section isn't enough to be considered stealth anymore. So, as stealth technology improves, so does the definition of stealth. So, you've been showing my short videos and translating them for your peeps? Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. China has balloons, US has obnoxious rocket plane. Yeah. So that's why when everyone's like, you can't fly that high to get it. And I'm just like my brain goes like U-2, SR-71, F-22. Are you sure about that? The F-117 is a sports car, not a supercar. It is. And from what I understand, it's not used by our military anymore. And it's only used by 3-letter agencies who use it for spy stuff. Duke-class frigate. I don't know anything about the Duke-class frigate. The only frigate I kind of know about, I don't know if it's a frigate, is the Zumwalt class. Do I got that right? Stealthfish gives me a rash. Put the pretty lady guy back on stream. There you go. We'll go to Stephosaurus Flex's page. We'll look up Stephosaurus. Wow, my internet speed is going down. Here, we'll just leave it on Steph's page. There you guys go. What do you think is the most interesting thing you've learned in the military that you're allowed to say publicly, and thanks for your service? Well, thank you so much, man. Interesting thing. Also, JD, thank you as well. I don't know why it's not playing. Oh, there it goes.
JD Centola super chatted $4.99.
The rich kids have arrived. It's all good, man.
Squink. Super chatted $5. What do you think is the most interesting thing you've learned in the military that you're allowed to publicly say thanks for your service?
The Abrams main battle tank has 4 pieces of wood in it. I think it's probably the most interesting thing that I'm allowed to say. I would like to talk about things like V-Twiz, but I can't. Or NCTR. But anyways, yeah, the Abrams has 4 pieces of wood in it. Most people don't know that. They're on top of the breech and below the breech, and they're the stoppers for the gun to go up and down. They're quite literally mechanical stoppers for the gun. FBI, open up.
19256 super chatted $5.
I really have to ask what I didn't. I just grabbed space. I'll change my overlay, man. I got you. I will change it. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you so much. Oh, why not random? Or what? I think I read that correctly. I'm sorry. Do I think that lasers will be a viable missile defense system? Absolutely. Iron Beam is already up and running. The United States has Directed Energy M-SHORAD up and running. They actually just delivered their first systems here. They're going to 460th Air Defense Artillery. Yeah, lasers are going to be the next big hotness. She's gonna find out that I just hung out on her page. She's gonna be like, "You're being a weirdo." Trailer Trash Tammy, a couple of Marines. There's I don't know how much scrolling I want to do because I don't know if you guys want to see what I look at on my Instagram. No, it's all good, JD. Thank you so much, man. Is that a leopard? So I made that video and I didn't have that leopard 2 part on the end, and I was like sitting there and my wife's like, it's not good. Like she straight up, she'll tell me, she's like, that wasn't good. The punchline wasn't good. And I was like, I know. Because when I made the video, I was like, I want to talk about the dam, I want to talk about the aliens, and I want to talk about the fucking tractor leopard that they took out. Like I wanted to talk about all 3 of those. And sometimes when I get into a conversation between countries, I kind of like detach and I'm like, what would I say next? Or what would this country say next? And like, I lose out stating as much as I wanted to. Instead, I just create a conversation, which I guess is kind of fucking weird because I'm just talking to myself. Anyways, so I made it and I didn't have that leopard part on the end. And I was like, I'm missing something. It's not there yet. Thank you so much, March. Did you say something too? I'm sorry.
March 3258. Super chatted $10. My dad was on the USS Enterprise for 18 years. Thank you so much for your service. He worked on the boilers. If you're allowed to talk about it, do you believe the US may get sucked into the Ukraine war?
Not without... So... Let me back up. Let me finish the other one first. I was talking about... what was I talking about? Oh my gosh. What was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. I'm so sorry. Do I think we'll get pulled in? No, I don't. Unless they do something. So the way the United States fights on top of everything else is we have to maintain legitimacy. We have to take a sucker punch. This is just the way we fight. We have to. Because taking a sucker punch does a couple of things. Number one, it rallies our allies. I don't know if you guys know this, but after September 11th, there was countries around the world playing the American national anthem. They were showing a show of solidarity with the United States for the attack that we had just received. Like anytime the United States takes a hit, our allied nations show solidarity with us. So we have to take a hit. I hate it, but it's the way it is, right? Number two, it rallies local population. So after September 11th, there was lines out the door of recruiting offices. Now, I'm not saying like you can believe Bush did it or he didn't do it. I'm just telling you the facts of what happened, right? So this is all the fallout that happened. So unless we get purposely sucker punched, we will not be involved, unfortunately. So we'll see. Being detached country convos. Yeah, I get detached. Anyways, so I didn't finish that one, and my wife was like, she watched it and she's like, it sucks. There's something, you're missing something. And she's always so forward with me. And honestly, I don't deserve that woman. If you saw her, I mean, hell, oh, no. How did I get that? fucking personality. It's all I had. Anyways, so anywho, so she was like, "You're missing a punchline." And I was like, "Okay, let me see." And I made, and I was like, "Oh, I got it." That's what I came up and I did, the leopard punchline. And she's like, "That's good. That's good." So yeah. Can you talk about politics here? Mr. Fisherman, I try, you're entirely entitled to do so, man, but I try to stay out of politics as much as I can. I let everybody be everybody. I want Americans to be free, man. That's kind of my thing. And I hope that given my profession, you guys make the right decisions and elect the right people who care about me. That's all I want. And if I do have to go off to some foreign land and do what I need to do, then I hope that the right people are in place, that my family is taken care of when I'm gone. That's all I ask. That's my stance on politics. And you're a dead star, Supernova? Have I ever been stationed near Fort Bliss? I was at White Sands for 4 years. A soccer team called the Patriots. Yeah, I like El Paso, man. Food's good down there. God, if you're down near El Paso, Scott, all right? Over in West El Paso, there's a ramen joint. I can't remember the name of it. It's a ramen place. It's right next to a place called the Cereal Killa, something like that. They do like cereal flavored milkshakes. Or cereal bar. I think it's called the Cereal Bar. It's right next door to the Cereal Bar. It's in West El Paso. It's a little Tamashi? No. Shit, I can't remember. It's a little ramen place. Go there. The ramen is fire. Bro, it's phenomenal. And you get a second helping of ramen if you want it for free. Most of the time I don't eat it unless I'm feeling a little fat. Then yeah, I'll do it. But go down there and do that, man. It's good. It's delicious. And then go over to Las Cruces and go eat at my wife's family's restaurant, Chala's. It's fire, bro. All of it's fire. It's good. Texas has the best food in the union. Some, yes. I think New Mexico takes the cake on some. And Arizona has some other good shit. Like that whole southwestern portion, like El Paso, New Mexico, fucking Arizona, they all like, that's like Flavor Town all along the border there, man. Like that's what it is. You're born there on the west side? Oh yeah. Go get you some of that. Right. Was I in Ukraine? Our food is better. I speak from experience. I've never been to Ukraine. After this whole thing's over and done with, there is some friends over there who are operating a certain missile system that I do owe some beers to. So maybe I'll make my way on over there after this whole thing's over and done with. You live near Fort Bliss? Come in hall. Yeah? Go get you some of that ramen, man. Go get you some of that ramen. Yeah, 9 lives every Wednesday and Friday, man. You guys are kind of showing up towards the end of it, though. Kadima, yes! Yes! It's phenomenal. Arizona has better sushi than Oregon? Oof. I don't know. Maybe? Like, this is the thing, man. Something I figured out is that part of the world, if you have a restaurant and it's successful in that part of the United States, your food is phenomenal. It just is. Because I came out here to Oklahoma, and I'm offended. My taste buds are offended. Like, if you took a mediocre restaurant from, like, El Paso and you moved it to Lawton, Oklahoma, you would either take this bitch by storm or be chased away with fucking torches and pitchforks. Because they don't know what salt is. It's the weirdest shit. The first time I ordered a chicken fried steak here and it came with unsalted white gravy, I was offended. My taste buds were offended. I live there in Lockheed in Fort Worth now. Ooh, nice. Whoa! 50 from... Oh, that's us. Oh. Yep. Thank you so much, a Durian, Jay? I think I said that right.
A Durian super chatted $4.61. People forget how angry people were at Bush for taking 2 weeks to bomb Afghanistan.
Yep. They wanted blood. The Americans wanted blood. Lockheed and Martin, two different companies? No, it's Lockheed Martin. Just like Northrop Grumman. And I think those are the only ones that are like that. Because the other ones, big big things I'm thinking of are Raytheon and General Dynamics. Have I been to Fort Lewis McChord? I have not. There's no jobs up at Fort Lewis for me until they stand up another air defense battalion. I have no job up there. That's how we Oregonians feel about KFC. All right, guys, I'm going to have to get off. My voice is gone. Tomorrow I'll be on a live stream with... actually, let's do this. I'll be on a live stream with... not live stream. A podcast with Preston Stewart. So when that goes live, please go on over to Preston Stewart's channel here on YouTube. He's a good dude. Field artillery officer, man. He's a great guy. As always, do not commit to 22 a day. Every single one of you amazing. And I will see you guys right here next time. Y'all take it easy.